There's this quote I came across not too long ago. She didn't move mountains, but she held the world together for the people she loved. When I read those words, I instantly thought of my grandmother, Della. She might not have been on the cover of a magazine or been known by millions, but in the lives of the people she loved, she was the steady hands, holding everything in place. She was the reason things didn't fall apart. She was our glue, our anchor, and our safe place. Good morning, everyone, and thank you for being here today. My name is Minka, and I am so honored and also humbled to be able to share about my grandmother, or as our family called her, Momo. We're here not to just mourn her passing, but to celebrate her life, her love, and the countless ways she touched each of us. Today, I want to share 3 things with you. First, the kind of rare and deep connection she and I had. Second, some of the memories we shared that shaped who I am. And third, the strength, love, and yes, the sass she carried in everything she did. The qualities that made her the kind of person who, without fanfare, held the world together for the people she loved. So this is my first point, our rare connection. My grandmother and I had a bond that I know is rare. Most people are lucky to have a loving grandparent, but with her, it went deeper than that. She wasn't just my grandma. She was my person, my cheerleader, my confidant. From day one, she had my back in a way that made me feel seen, understood, and safe. To some, she was Della. To our family, she was Momo. But in my eyes, she was my girl. She was the person I could sit in silence with and still feel completely at home. She knew when to offer advice and when to just listen. She celebrated my victories like they were her own, and when life was hard, she reminded me of my worth without ever making me feel like a burden. We lived together, and that meant we were a part of each other's every day. We helped each other through some of the hardest moments, like the loss of my mother, Tamara Levine, and the loss of my grandfather, James Mausner. And in a bittersweet way, our connection feels even deeper knowing she passed on my birthday, a reminder that our lives will be tied together in ways that are impossible to explain. Now my second point, the memories we shared. We shared so many memories, big and small, that I carry with me like treasures. I think about her cooking, not just the meals themselves, but the way she put so much care into making sure everyone was fed and happy. And I remember when I cooked food for her in the microwave, nothing fancy, she still ate it like it was the best thing she ever tasted. I think about us going thrifty, how in 4th grade she bought me whatever made me float. That day it happened to be my very first pair of heels. And not just any heels, they were 4 inches tall. And coincidentally enough, they were the heels I'm wearing today. So she didn't just let me dream, she let me live it, even if I was only 9 years old. I think about every single time as a little kid when she'd give me a kiss with her lipstick on. I'd rub it off, and then I would tell her that it was going right here in my heart. And I think about the times we sat together, laughing over something silly, or the days where we just sit side by side, not saying much at all, but feeling completely at peace. She was there for milestones, birthdays, school events, family gatherings, but she was also there for small, quiet memories that in hindsight made up the most beautiful parts of life. Through those moments, she taught me more with her actions than she could ever with words. How to be patient, how to love people for exactly who they are, and how to stand strong when life gets messy. Now this brings me to my third point, her strength and love. And that brings me back to the quote. She didn't move mountains, but she held the world together for the people she loved. My grandmother was strong, but not in the loud, showy way. She didn't need to prove herself to anyone. Her strength was quiet but unshakable. She showed up, she was dependable, she sacrificed without complaint. She didn't run from responsibility, she embraced it, because the people she loved mattered more to her than anything else. She may not have moved mountains, but in the world's eyes, but in our family's eyes, she moved something much more important. She held together our little world. She was a steady heartbeat behind our family's joy, the hands that caught us when we fell, and the smile that reminded us everything was going to be okay. And let's be clear, she was also a diva. She had style, she had sass, and she never lost that sparkle in her personality. She could be feisty in the most loving way, and that made her unforgettable. So in conclusion, as we remember her today, I know that the love and lessons she gave us won't fade. They live on in the way we treat one another, in the traditions we keep, and in the stories we tell for years to come. We aren't really saying goodbye to her because she isn't truly gone. Her legacy, her influence, and her spirit are still here in all of us. And I will always carry her in my heart, just like I did with those lipstick kisses she gave me when I was little. She didn't move mountains, but she held my world together. And for that, I will forever be grateful. Thank you.